Business made simple.
Okay, so how do we invite customers into a story? Let's go back through it. First, we start with the problem. Then you position your product as the solution to that problem. And next, we want to build a bridge by giving the customer a plan. So it bears repeating, if you start with the problem and position your product as the solution to that problem, you are already inviting customers into a story. Even if you hate to sell, in fact, especially if you hate to sell, just doing those two things is going to make you amazing at selling. Now, if you want to make the story even better, take step 3. That is, build a bridge from your customer's problem to your solution by giving them a step-by-step plan they can follow. If you've started with the problem and you've positioned your product as a solution to the problem, the customer likely already wants to place an order, and many of them will, but some of them won't. And there are two reasons that they won't. The first is they are afraid. They are afraid to make a purchase because they sense internally that there's a kind of risk here. You know, they could lose their money. They could feel like a fool if this doesn't work out. They could lose the respect of others or even lose their self-respect. These are subconscious things, but they are feeling this sense of risk. And so they're going to say, you know, give me a minute. The second reason they may not place an order is because they're feeling a little bit confused. They aren't sure how this thing between us is going to work out. They will wait until the way forward seems clear. Yes, I sense that this is a solution, but what does this mean? Does it mean that you come out to the house? Does it mean that you put the thing together for me? Does it mean that I download the software, and what if it doesn't work? The future is a mystery, especially the more complicated the product that you sell might be. And so what they're going to say to you if they feel confused is they're going to say, yeah, this is really interesting. Let me get back to you. Now, most of us think, let me get back to you is an excuse to get out of the conversation, and they're never going to call you back. I don't think that's exactly what it is, although I agree that they're never going to call you back. I think what it is it's more likely, this feels right to me. There's something right about this, but some of it is a mystery. Let me get back to you when it no longer feels like a mystery. And of course, it's never not going to feel like a mystery. They don't have any more information to lift the fog, if you will. They're looking into a dense forest and they see a fog. They know there's something that I want through this forest, but there's a fog of how this is going to work out. They fear change and aren't sure what this will do to their future. Things may not be working right now. You know, they may have a problem, but there's a chance that this move could actually make things worse. And that's where your buyer is at this point. They know they've got a problem. They know they've got a solution, but they don't know if this is going to work out. They don't know if this is going to make things worse. They don't know what their future looks like. They don't know what their level of commitment is going to be. It means change, and they don't want to change. So what we got to do is we've got to give them a bridge. We've got to build a bridge from this problem to this solution that they can look at that bridge and say, oh, there's a path that I can walk. I really like 3-step plans. I'm just telling you, they work. 4-step plans work decently well. 5-step plans don't work. All right, so let's give you an example. Let's say that we're thinking about doing a wine tour of Italy. And we're talking to our travel agent. They've got this great wine tour. It's really awesome. It costs X amount of dollars. And we're kind of going, oh, wow, I didn't think it would be that expensive. That's a little more than we had in our budget, but a wine tour sounds awesome. Let me think about it. Well, what does let me think about it mean? It means we're going to Disneyland is what let me think about it means. And you say, hey, before you go, let me just tell you how simple all of this works. You're going to fly to Florence, and a guide is going to meet you right there at the airport. That guide is going to take you to the hotel. And then every morning, the guide meets you in the lobby of the hotel. You eat a little breakfast, talk about what you're going to do that day, and then that guide is going to take you on a tour of that part of Italy and is going to move you around the country, so you're going to get a really great wine tour. What did the travel agent just do? The travel agent just lifted an enormous amount of fog so that you could see through the forest and it all felt safe. Ah, I got it. We're not going to end up in Italy having spent all this money and not know where our hotel is, not, spend all day at a winery only to discover there's a much better winery over here that we ignored because we didn't have a guide. All of those questions about our future have been answered. And you know what? It is a little bit more, but this sounds like a once in a lifetime experience. The travel agent is going to close that sale, where if they didn't give the three-step plan, they might not have closed that sale. So, how would this work? Let's say if you're a representative for another product, somebody else's product, and they don't necessarily give you a three-step plan. Well, let's say you're selling candles for a big online candle maker. You would tell your customer, look, all you need to do is go to acmecandlemakers.com and get an account. Step one. Then order anything that you want on the website. Step two. And then it's going to show up at your door a few days later, and your house is going to smell really great, and it's going to feel really great because these are just incredible candles. Step three. Now, did I just lay out the obvious? Yes, you just laid out the obvious. But instead of saying, I saw that you really like this candle, I actually sell these candles, and you can buy some of them from me, or you can get an account from me, or whatever. They're going to go, oh, that's really great, but they're going to have a kind of resistance to, wait, are you selling me something or what? But if you would just say, I love these candles. In fact, I love them so much that I started selling these candles. And if you want, I can send you a link. All you have to do is create an account, pick any candle that you want, and it shows up at your door 3 days later. Amazingly, that person is going to sell more candles. Why? Because they created that mental bridge. You don't underestimate people's ability to be confused about the obvious. We are bombarded with so much information that if I feel overwhelmed, I want out. So yes, I love your candle, but I've got so much to do. I got to pick up the kids. I'm probably never going to go to this website. But as soon as you say, yeah, all you have to do is go to acmecandlemakers.com, create an account, and you'll have a candle in your door a few days later. You've just showed me the path that I take through the forest. You just showed me the boulders in the creek. You just built a bridge from their problem to your solution. And they are much, much more likely to actually take that step, cross that bridge, walk into that forest. All right, so here's a pro tip. You are likely already taking people through a few steps to solve their problem. The key is to lay out those steps so they are almost numbered. And by the way, feel free to actually number them. Ma'am, here's how we're going to solve the problem. We're going to do this, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And when you spell out that plan, you dramatically increase the number of people who are going to cross that bridge. In marketing, this can literally look like 3 steps on a website. In a sales conversation, you can also just say the process works in 3 steps. First, second, and third. And then your problem is solved. The controlling idea of this module is this. When you build a mental bridge using a 3-step plan from your customer's problem to your solution, many, many more people will cross the bridge and place orders. Okay, so let's look at how our chef might do this. You know how most families don't eat together anymore? And when they do, they don't eat healthy? That's red. I'm an at-home chef. I come to your house and cook so you and your family can really connect over dinner. That's purple. If you ever want to try it, the process is really simple. First, we have a quick 30-minute meeting where I find out what your family likes to eat, what food allergies exist, and so on. Second, I come to your house and make dinner. Your family enjoys the meal without having to cook or clean up. And if you like, we take the 3rd step, where we figure out a consistent, repeatable day of the week where I come and cook so you don't have to. And we're going to color the plan in brown. The bridge we're going to color in brown. So you can see how our chef will probably close more and more sales with each element that he adds to his sales script. And when we build that bridge, many more people are going to hire that at-home chef. In fact, let's just think about it. You're talking to an at-home chef. You know you need this service. You know you're not connecting with your family. You know that making a meal every night is just draining. It's something you don't want to deal with. You're standing in front of the solution to that problem. But subconsciously, you're thinking, Well, does this person move in with us? How much is this going to cost? What if they cook food that I don't like? What if he doesn't care about my daughter's food allergies? We've never been able to eat out because she has these food allergies. You have all these subconscious feelings of frustration and fog and confusion and fear. But that three-step plan, I come to your house, we do an intake session, we deal with food allergies, we deal with all that. Second, we try it to make sure, just one night, we try it, make sure it works for you. And third, we have a conversation about what it will cost and whether or not you want me to come back 1 or 2 or 3 nights a week. You have all the control. You have all the agency. You have all the safety. Now, we suddenly think, well, gosh, I could take the first step. Why don't you come to the house and we'll talk about whether or not you should cook for us. That step is crucial. You're going to get a lot of business if you start with a problem. You're going to get a lot more when you position your product as a solution to that problem. And you get even more when you actually build a bridge from your customer's problem to your solution. Now let's think about it. You bought this on-demand course and you likely made 100 times your money back when you learned to make the customer the hero by starting with the problem. Then you added to that when you learned to position your product as the solution. And now that you've built a bridge, you've got an incredible framework to grow your business. Even if you stop taking this on-demand course right now, you'd still be one of the most amazing salespeople that you have ever met. And you started out hating sales. That's quite a transformation. So, if you want to build a sales script of your own, go to onlinesalescript.com and start filling out your free sales script. This software is going to help you put it all together, and it's going to help you start having fantastic sales conversations in which you really don't sell at all, and you just start inviting customers into a story. Just go to onlinesalescript.com to fill out your sales script. And next, we're going to make this story really, really exciting.